very boring. I do Dragon's Den. I tweet all the way through it and do a live blog, so it's really boring.
You tweet during the programme itself?
Yeah.
Of course the programme isn't live.
We do it with a whole pile of other business people, real nerds. We all just...
What do you mean you do?
Yeah, we have a live blog and we do it through Twitter, yeah. You have to kind of understand the principle.
Have you seen Dragon's Den?
Dragon's Den.
Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I've got my idea.
Hey, I had this idea. I want to do this. Okay, I'm gonna take that idea on board. I'll take 60% and you can have 40%. But I want 40%. Sorry.
That's essentially it.
I'm very interested in your new invention.
Okay.
Of course, Vincent,
Yes.
like the Twitterati always tweet about your show.
Yes.
Constantly.
Very popular.
What about
No, there's a new way-
I bet they're tweeting tonight, so damn it.
There's a new way of watching telly now. People sit at home and they
Yeah, you
they
sit
tweet.
home with the mobile phone and...
So you're not watching it on your own on the couch, you're watching it
You've
with
become the king of morning radio now and taken over from Jerry Ryan. Did you know Jerry Ryan?
Not very well. I was in his company about, I'd say, 3 times. And those 3 times he was everything that everybody said about him. Larger than life, amazing company, you know, great storyteller.
Okay.
You know, and when he was in a room...
Did you know?
I did,
No
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, he did a lot of work with us, and his daughter's doing a fantastic job. Lottie Ryan, she's doing great work.
It was the only interview me and John did. The interviewer had the same energy as us.
I know the family, lovely family.
Yeah, it was actually really, really cool. Like, actually so cool. Like, it was always like...
Did you guys meet him, did you?
Yeah, we met him like
Yeah,
twice.
like, we were like launching our single. We were like basically in there. And he had so much energy. We had so much energy, and he was so excited. And
Because it's cool when you're interviewing somebody and actually get into the whole thing. They're really excited about it, and he's like our #1 fan.
Vincent, I think they're criticising you there.
Who?
Why? Because of my lack of
Your
energy.
energy level, yeah.
But I think
You're
that...
stallion.
We don't drink coffee or tea. We don't take any of that type of stuff. We just like, we just wake up in the morning and just like drink loads of water.
Just go back to Jerry Ryan. I was surprised at the extent of the public dismay or public
I'm serious, Kate.
grief over his death. I didn't know he was that well known. I wonder what would happen if anything happened. What the public reaction would be if anything happened to either of those 2 fellas.
we built a pyramid.
I don't know. It'd be crazy. Imagine if I don't know.
But were you surprised, Linda, by the public reaction to
Not
Jerry Ryan's
really,
death?
because I knew how hugely popular he was. I mean, and I think everybody just... There was a lot of respect there for Jerry. I really loved him, and I loved the family as well, still do. But I just, from my own point of view, they were great animal lovers as I am. If I needed something done, I could ring up the Ryan family and just say, will you help me out with this? And they always turned up. And I think he was like that with an awful lot of people, whether you were just Mr. Average or whether you were somebody in the public eye, it didn't really matter. But he was always seemed to be there to help people, and people loved him.
I think, Vincent, when there's titans that you meet, like Elizabeth Taylor, when you look at the outcry that happened this week after her passing, you know, and you know that's somebody who had an amazing character, and life needs characters, you know. It'd be very dull if we didn't have these kind of guys around, you know. So I think sometimes there's a passing of individuals, and it does cause that.
I remember thinking at the time that the media reaction was so, I thought, a bit overboard, that the media would turn on him eventually, and they did turn on him, and these revelations about his alleged drug taking and all that, I think is quite gratuitous now. Why didn't they do it when he was alive and let it be tested against the truth?
Well, you're in the best position to answer that, Vincent, because you've been in Irish journalism for how many years? 40
I
years?
don't know. I just expected that this would happen. But I suppose in some form of parts of the entertainment world, drug taking is fairly prevalent. Is it, lads?
What?
Drug taking?
Me and John never put ourselves in situations where people are taking drugs. You always see people...
It's not cool.
Because the thing is that you go to these events and everyone's trying to act as if they're having fun, but me and John actually have genuine fun. We always like do cool stuff. We're not acting to be fun. We like always have like cool time.
Like, we just have loads
I
of
think
attitude.
like, you see these people and they take all these drugs and stuff to have fun. They're always like, oh my god, I have no confidence. I need to go on the dance floor. But, like, I think that's just lame.
Sorry,
I know all messed up.
one of our elected politicians is a known drug taker. Is that not true?
Well, he was.
This
he gave up
week
yesterday.
he said he gave it up yesterday.
Yeah.
For the sake of his family.
Linda, in your experience in the show band world for years, was drug taking a feature of that life?
No, it wasn't, Vincent. That was a different era. No. I never remember seeing anybody or hearing about anybody until possibly, I'm trying to think, maybe during the 80s or something like that. I've never touched drugs myself. I'm anti-drugs, to be quite honest with you. There was the odd bit of hash smoked and things like that. That's about the extent of it. But
That'll be in the papers tomorrow.
yeah,
Linda.
probably.
Yeah, you didn't inhale though, did you? You never inhaled.
I never touched them in my
Linda
life.
Martin,
Never felt the need.
cannabis hell.
Never felt the need to. And I think it's just a thought of my father coming after me with the big stick. You know, have you ever caught with anything like that? So no, I didn't, and I don't remember anybody doing it either. They were more interested in having a pint at the end of the night, get the gig over, and then hit the bar, and that was about it.
How about you, Ray?
No.
What? Never
How about you,
introduced
Vince?
drugs in.
No.
No, I'm afraid not.
Everyone watches
I
it, they don't take drugs, okay? It's not cool.
Yeah, like come on, like seriously, it's totally not cool.
It's just someone trying to make money and then take like your like.
And you're gonna end up
drugs.
dying, okay? Like, think about, okay, it's mixed with all this random crap, and you're gonna die, and your family's gonna like,
That's not going to
cry.
work out good, and there's always side effects. It's never good. Don't do
Yeah,
it.
don't do it. It's not cool.
How about drink?
Like you see in the
Alcohol.
movies, you see in CSI, everything, it always turns out bad. You'll end up being on like CSI, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, there's fingerprints everywhere.
And someone end up shooting you or something. Like, we don't drink either. Like, drinking's not cool. It makes you all bloated, doesn't it? It makes you all, like, sloppy. It's not cool. You can drink if you want, I don't know,
And
whatever.
you get like a beer belly.
Yeah.
I
What's
drink,
wrong with
I
that?
don't have a beer belly.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
I know, okay, it's just like not
Do you
my
drink,
style.
Vincent? Vincent, do you like a drink?
I do, yeah.
What's your drink? What's your tipple?
Pints of stout and red wine.
You're going to need one later.
What do you mean later? What do you mean later? I need one right now, for God's sake. This is the most grueling scene I've ever been in my life. And you stop laughing at me. You're here to help me. And all you do
No
is
one's laughing
you're
at
sitting
you.
back
I'm
and
doing my best for you.
you're
Vincent.
sitting back and just letting it go. Dragon's Den, it's Dragon's Den. Isn't there a bit of cruelty involved in Dragon's Den?
Well, look, there may be, but you know what? I earned my money the hard way. I grew up in a working class family, and everything I made came with sacrifices. So I have a child, I gave up lots of weekends, evenings. If someone is standing in front of me looking for my money, then I need them to know that they have to work hard for it.
That's
and they
fair
need to
enough,
know
but
their
they're doing it on
figures.
television now. It's ritual humiliation, and a lot of
No,
these
no,
other
no,
a lot
no.
of these other programs are ritual humiliation.
No, this isn't. Honestly, look, I sat in that studio filming for endless hours. In fact, most of the people, I've ended up with a lot of good investments at the end of it, which is great. A lot of new people in my life, and in fact, a lot of people I didn't invest in, I'm still helping through the magazines and helping to promote their products. So, in fact, it was a real privilege to see over 50 people, including people who've been made redundant, who didn't sit on the dole. They got up and they said we could do something with our lives. So, you know, there were some of them, if I was actually making decisions with my heart, I would have emptied my bank account.
I thought the X Factor, there was a lot of humiliation in the X Factor too. And a lot of people were terribly devastated, I think, by what was said about them on the X Factor by the panel. Did you feel for people who were?
Yeah, I think it's
I'm
crazy.
sure terribly
like,
distressed.
no matter what's said about it, like the people don't know you personally, so you kind of take it seriously. It's more like a comic book, and if you see you on the front page, you just kind of get happy about it. And sometimes you're the bad guy, sometimes you're the good guy. Right now, like when you see other people getting bad press, you kind of go, God, they're clearly not like that because you met them. But I think the people, when you get like bad stories and stuff, you kind of just go, that's a cool picture.
Were you fellas upset by some of the things said on X Factor about you that fella Simon Cowell said?
I think it was cool because like we were like in the like this thing the other day, and people from France were like, "Oh my God, Simon Cowell!" Like it got like loads of attention for the show. But I think Simon Cowell is cool. Like he's really good friends at Lou, and he always like wants to know what we're doing, and he's probably gonna want tickets to the Eurovision. Yeah, you can be front row if you
Do
want.
you never humiliate anybody who comes on your show?
I don't know, but that's not the purpose of the program. And like if they mess up, it's their doing. But the point of these television programs seem to me to be in
Well, it's
part
not the point of
humiliation.
Dragon's Den. I mean, I think...
Well, it is. It's setting people up and then sneering at them.
No, look, I have 6 investments at the end of it that I wouldn't... Those people, often it's the last resort. They haven't got investment from anyone else. And they come in genuinely looking for mentorship and looking for investment. They get a load of publicity. You know, there's 500,000 people watching them on a Sunday night.
This isn't new. This is new. Opportunity knocks,
Well,
new faces.
You were a panellist on a programme, you're a star years ago, and there wasn't ritual humiliation. I thought it was kinder, gentler.
Was it-
There
was one
sometimes-
panellist was pretty
Sometimes
nasty,
there
all
was,
right.
you know, but there's always things going on in the background, and I think that's what the public never know about and never realise, you know. So there might be somebody causing trouble in the background, then they come out all sweetness and light to sing their song, and then they're brought back down to earth again. But you've got to realise that if the humiliation and the sneering, as you call it, wasn't there, people probably wouldn't watch the show because
makes
everything
it
would be
watchable.
so nice.
But is it nice? Is it fair, though, to build a programme around the humiliation or the ridiculing of people in the way that...
But
It's
they
not
know.
exclusively humiliation. It's not exclusively humiliation. It's
It makes
also
a
a
lot-
celebration of
Yeah.
sort of talent as well.
But the thing is that when you go on these shows, that there's so much work involved that no one gets to see. It's more like glitz and glam you see on TV. But the thing is that you to be able to work with people, like the amount of hours you put in. The thing is that me and John got like far in the X Factors because we're easy to work with, made an impression of people, we met them, we made an impact. We weren't just like, oh my God, I'm famous. It's about like working solid and staying focused. You don't just sort of go on these shows.
Like to be famous, you kind of have a normal life.
Like me and John, like we don't have this whole life where we need downtime. It's all about doing stage work, doing like, you're always thinking on what the next thing is.
And Mary Byrne, it transformed her life, you know.
Correct.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's because you were successful on the show.
But Vincent, at this stage, if this was the first year of any type of show like that, you could say, okay, everybody's walking in here innocent, they're lambs to the slaughter, but it's not the case. I mean, the shows have been going, as Ray says, from opportunity knocks, and people know that if they mess up, they're going to be taken apart, and that Simon is going to ridicule them.
But isn't there another element to it too, and it's exploitation of this craving for celebrity, which can be in itself terribly damaging to people, and you have thousands of people lining up to be on the X Factor thing. This craving to be well known.
Like for a century, people have wanted to be in Hollywood. You know, and people have given up their lives and worked as whatever.
But they weren't going on public display.
Well, they were sort of. You know, they were going to auditions and.
Where?
Well,
the auditions were relatively private. They weren't on television, and you didn't build television programs around this.
But it's part of, if you want to succeed in show business, you know, you have to take the knocks. You know, you have to go in front of an audience, and they will either boo you or tell you you're great, and then you go to the next stage, and then you're Jedward.
Yeah. The Rosa Tralee thing now, for instance, was quite different, and it's far gentler.
Yes, very gentle.
Yeah. Did you enjoy doing that?
I did. I really enjoyed it, yeah.
Why did you give it up? You did it for 3 years, was it?
5 years. I did
5 years,
5 years,
yeah.
I gave it up because
Too cool?
Kate was starting, no, not too cool at all. Kate was starting school, and I knew that I was going to interfere with the time I had with Kate. Because I work in the real world, as in the commercial radio sector, so I've only 5 weeks off, so 2 of that was for the Rose Tralee, so I'd only 3 weeks off, etc.
Tell me, how did you, you interviewed maybe 30 people over 2 nights for the Rose Tralee thing. How did you frame questions to ask them? And did things go fairly dead and went, oh God, can I get out of here? Right? A bit like what I'm feeling now.
It's a bit like that. Yeah, well I would have met, this is a bit boring, but I would have met...
It's his fault, by the way.
I would have met all the Rose's girls for like a half an hour interview before, so I knew them quite well. And they're all individuals. So it's easy after that. It's like meeting somebody for the first time. If you can't have a chat with them for 10 minutes, well, that's pretty lousy, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't really.
No, that's obvious. No, that is pretty obvious.
I don't think you're in line for the anchor of the Rosa Tralee.
You won't be getting the call.
Great. We used to watch the Rose Tralee with like our granny and everyone. Yeah, it's really cool.
Well, you were... let's go to a break. And after the break...
We need a break.
Commercial break.
We'll be back at Buckle. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Goodbye.
Maybe I'll be back in...